Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Ortner. I'm a senior associate at the Milken Institute Center for Financial Markets, and I sit on our public finance team where we house our community infrastructure and climate resilience initiatives. I'm really thrilled to be here today to show you our Community Infrastructure Center platform, or the CIC, which was created after research that my team did in identifying the key gaps that prevent communities from creating shovel-ready infrastructure and climate resilience projects. We identified that one of the key gaps in getting these projects to shovel-ready is pre-development funding. So in order to help communities bridge that gap, we had conversations with EDA and we were able to get an initial push of funding to create the platform and build out all of the features. And then since we've been funded by philanthropy, so we are able to offer this platform completely free of charge to both of our user types. And essentially, we have two user types on the platform. We have project sponsors, who are going to be those communities with actual climate resilience and infrastructure projects that are raising their hand and saying, I am responsible for moving this project forward through the stages of pre-development and ensuring that it becomes shovel-ready at the other side. And then we have providers. And a provider could be anyone from a project funder, a project developer, a technical assistance provider, a technology provider, a consultant, a grant writer, essentially someone who can plug into a project at a specific activity phase in order to help move it from one activity to the next. So to show everyone what it looks like when a project joins the platform, I can give you an example of one of our demonstration projects. Essentially, we ask all project sponsors that have projects in their community to give us a detailed description of their project in its current state. We want information about the project scope, the project's objectives, activities that have been completed, activities that need to be completed, funding that has been committed, funding pools that they're interested in applying for, and then some specific information about the project type, subtype, approximate cost, current activity, stage, and geographic location. Once we get all of this information from a community, within 2 minutes of them clicking submit on that project, we are then able to match them to a list of funding matches. These are going to be federal, state, and local grant opportunities that we scrape from websites like grants.gov, and we're able to provide them to the community based on the information they provide through an algorithm that does a keyword search. So as you can see, they get information on the specific grant title, a match score, so essentially how relevant we believe that grant is to the project, whether or not there's a match requirement for those funds, and then a due date for that grant. Once they get this list of information, we ask them to identify any of the opportunities that they're interested in applying for and just save them to their profile. Typically, a community will save 3 to 5 opportunities that they might apply for. Once we get that information on the types of funding pools that they're interested in going after, we then ask them to complete a project readiness assessment. This is a detailed questionnaire that asks specific information about the different activities of the project, what has been considered and what has not been considered yet, versus what needs to be considered and what's irrelevant to the project, in order to generate a total readiness score for that project. We then break it down by key project components, and then as you scroll down, you can see we even provide them with information about specific activities that still need to be completed. Essentially, this total readiness score can be thought of as percent to shovel ready. Once we have the information from the projects about the funding matches that they're interested in applying for and their total readiness score, we can then start matching them up with other providers that we have on the platform. So those project funders, technical assistants, technology providers, and we can help them start to bridge the gaps that currently exist in their project. Once a provider has been matched to a project, they can also start to assign tasks that the project sponsor needs to consider in order to be able to move forward in this project. As you can see, some of those tasks are listed here. Some other features that are notable on the platform: we have a member registry, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's essentially a Rolodex of every member of the platform with a full profile that they fill out when they join. So you can search for users by their user type. So if they're a project sponsor or a provider, you can see what type of provider they are, what their areas of expertise are, what their services are, if they have capacity to take on new projects, or if they're a project sponsor, you can see what projects are attached to their profile as well. And if you're interested in connecting with someone in particular, you're able to search by our filters in order to get connected to them. And all you would have to do at that point is send them a message and let them know that you're interested in connecting. The next feature I can show is our knowledge base. So our knowledge base contains case studies, templates, data sets, programs, tools, resources, community trainings, and office hours. This is uploaded from a combination of research that we do on our end, and then providers on the platform are also able to upload their own internal resources to share those with communities as well. An example that I always like to give of how this works is about a year and a half ago, the White House released a list of technical assistance programs. The list was fantastic. There were a lot of really great programs coming out of the federal government, and there were about 130 of them that were all indexed on essentially an Excel spreadsheet. Really valuable information to have, but an individual community would have a lot of trouble understanding what specific program was relevant to them if they did not do research on all of them. So rather than them having to go and kind of pull that weight on their end, we indexed each of those opportunities separately, and then a community would be able to get matched to the program that makes the most sense for them. And then the last feature that I can show is our community board. So there are two different uses for the community board depending on your user type. So if you are a project sponsor, you can use it almost as a LinkedIn type tool. You can network with other project sponsors and providers, you can ask questions, you can get access to resources, upcoming events, and you can create discussions. But if you're a provider, you would be able to use this as a portfolio management tool. So we have different channels that are indexed on the platform. We have place-based, project-based, and program-based channels. We also have public and private channels. So rather than deploying information from the provider directly to one community, they can share it with their whole portfolio of communities that they're working with in one space. And then back to the dashboard, you can see information about projects as a provider that you've been matched to. If you're a project sponsor, you can see the projects that you have in your portfolio. And then as you scroll down, you can see information about the analytics of your projects. You can use that for grant reporting and for just a lot of other really great reports that you can generate here on the platform. But that's essentially it for the features that I'm here to show you today. I would love to get everyone on the platform. So if you're interested in signing up for either user type, you can go to communityinfrastructurecenter.org, or you can connect with me at some point. I'd be happy to answer any questions anyone has about the platform. All right, thank you.